Hey, hello, Patty. How are
Hello,
you?
I'm good.
All right. We're at 8 o'clock straight up. I'm going to go ahead and start recording on the Zoom side. Let me go ahead and get the Facebook Live going. I believe that we're going on YouTube. And hello, Facebook land. Hey, everybody in Facebook. Welcome to another installment of Get a Clue in 52. Look, my shirt matches today. Like Patty, you as well. Oh my goodness, we didn't plan that, but we only need two more, and we got a bowling team. Okay, I digress. All right, so Get a Clue in 52. We've got 5 categories and 10 tips each, except the category that we're in right now, which is the marketing section. 2 extra tips in this section gives us 52 for the year. So every Sunday night at 8 p.m., I come on board, I read a tip from the book, and then I pivot into group communication, group conversation, group coaching, what have you. I want to limit myself tonight because Marianne and I have an out-of-town guest in town for dinner tonight. She's here at our place. Graciously, I excuse myself to stay consistent tonight. So I'm not going to want to belabor tonight's installment, but I want it to be thorough and effective. So I am going to read more from the dedication section. I'm going to do a review of the tips that we've covered in this section, marketing thus far. I'm going to read the tip. I'm going to honor Patty and anybody else that's come on board to open up the mics with a comment or a question or what have you. But I want to see if I can keep the session as brief as possible tonight, just to honor the guest that's out of town from Seattle, to say hello to Marianne and I. We're in the middle of sushi dinner right now. So thank you for those of you that are watching on the YouTube channel. Watch Get a Clue, all one word. It's not just these live streams. See, last year in the first edition of Get a Clue 52, I would live stream into the Facebook group Get a Clue in 52. This year I'm live streaming onto my YouTube channel, Watch Get a Clue, and I'm hoping you all go and subscribe to the YouTube channel, Watch Get a Clue, all one word. Very easy to find. Now, it's not just these live streams that are being posted on my YouTube channel. There's all kinds of other content there. So get into it. Check it out. Let me know what you think. Give me some suggestions on what else you'd like to see in there. Thank you in advance for anybody that's spending time on the YouTube channel, Watch Get a Clue. And so whether you've come from the Get a Clue community or the Coach Jeffrey community, or whether you're from Orange Leaf Consulting or Wolf Management Consultants or iCoaching and Consulting, or any of the organizations, Charity for Hope, any of the organizations that Coach Jeffrey affiliates himself with, it doesn't matter what the name is, as long as the word gets out, right? And the word is the integrity game. The second edition of the book, Get a Clue in 52, has a bonus chapter inside with a preview for the book I'm writing called The Integrity Game. And ladies and gentlemen, that's just like what I'm referring to. Those are the words I'm using to refer to everything that I do. I want to get people engaged, I want to motivate them, and I want to hold them accountable. It's that integration, motivation plus accountability. But we need people engaged first. So thanks to those of you that are. Patty, you're engaged. You come in every Sunday night. You're here, right? I can't thank you enough for that. You're also in the group mentoring, and you've got the one-on-one training, and you participate in the integrity game in so many ways. And you guys can too. So if you're curious about what one-on-one coaching is like, or what it's like to be trained as a coach and a leader, or if you're interested in soft skill trainings, if you're interested in speech, keynote speaking or keynote speeches, or having your speech written, or any of that, there's all kinds of ways to play the integrity game, but we're always playing motivation plus accountability equals results. So let me go ahead and get into tonight. Tonight, first of all, from the dedications section, it takes me a while to read through all the dedications because I read a dedication to one person per week, but I happen to have a lot of people that I'm grateful for. So let me go ahead and pull from the dedications section. I think last week we said hello to Jim Rastusha. So this week it brings me to my brother, Dave. For those of you that don't know, my parents passed away last year. There's the flag for my dad, but it was 2 days ago that it was the 6-month anniversary of my mom passing. On March 26th, it was 6 months to the day. So I find it ironic that here we are, we come up on the dedication to my brother, who a week ago I was able to go and spend some time with in Las Vegas. To Dave, it will be hard to ever really explain how much of my motivation comes from you. From wanting to protect myself from you, to wanting to beat you, to wanting to make you proud. You've always been one of my biggest sources of drive, determination. Thanks, big bro. All right, that's from the dedication section. And that gets us all the way into the marketing section. The first section we covered for the first 10 weeks of the year was communication. That was foundation for everything. When I went through the first edition of the book, communication was the fourth section, I believe, that we got to. And I realized, you know what, this should be first. So it was one of the reasons to do a second edition, many other reasons to do a second edition. But in the second edition, communication came first, marketing comes second. Last year, marketing was the third section. Okay, here we go. The first tip in marketing was know what you need to know, then know it. So I get a little survey of 11 things that I think a good marketer wants to know, or a marketer that's okay that wants to get better, or a marketer that sucks that wants to get good, or a marketer that's good that wants to get great, or any great marketer will know these 11 things about their business. And it was really a preview for the following 11 tips, which brought us to last week when we had special guest Joey Falcone on board. Isn't it always great when Joey's on board, Patty? Even just saying his name and thinking about his face makes me smile. Mr. Bransom himself. It's always fun when Joey comes on board. But he was talking to us about knowing your customers. That was tip number 12 overall last week. Know your customers. One of the things that you need to know about marketing is your customers. We're talking about demographics. What do they look like? Psychographics. What do they think like? Understanding what they look like and think like will help us craft better messages. We'll be better marketers if we seek to know our customers, who they are, what they think, what they value, what they appreciate. But ultimately, as we'll elaborate on as we go further in the book, where do they go? What's their self-talk? Where do they show up? What do they pass along the way to where they're going? You know, things of that nature. So the more we really be the animal, the more we can be a step ahead of the animal and maybe get our messages in front of the animal. All right, that brings us tonight. Here we go, 6 minutes in. Tip number 3 is on page 45. Page 45 overall, and it's know your competition. Here we go, word for word. It is my opinion that there are 2 most important reasons to know your competition, and both of them are to get an advantage. Your competitive advantage is any or all the reasons that people will buy from you instead of your competition. Broken down by these 2 reasons, all advantages are either what you do better than your competition or what you do different than your competition. Of all of the things that both you and your competition do have offer, what do you do have or offer that is better than the competition? Or what do you do have or offer that your competition simply does not? Better or different? Knowing your competition as intimately as possible will place you in the best position to create and maintain competitive advantages. This allows you to promote those advantages within your marketing messages. When you know your customer, tip number 2, and your competition, creating great marketing messages should be much easier. It's very simple math. If you do a really good job knowing your competition, really good job knowing your customer, should be easier to create great marketing messages. I digress. Back to word for word. Bottom paragraph on page 45. Making sure you answer the following 2 questions in your marketing messages will keep your marketing on the right track. What problem do I solve, and how do I solve it better or differently than anyone else? I'll say it again. What problem do I solve, and how do I solve it better or different than anyone else? If you have answers to those questions, you're a better marketer than somebody that doesn't have answers to those questions. There's a lot more that can be said about knowing the competition. For now, that's the tip. Know the competition. If you, I remember when we went over this tip last year, and I had a special guest on board, Marissa Friedman. Marissa, if you're out there listening, props to you. You gave us so many tools and tips and techniques, websites that we could go to, data that we could punch in to see what our competition is doing on their social media, what they're doing on their webpage, what plugins and softwares and subscriptions are they getting, how many ads are they running, how many, not just A/B testing, but A, B, C, D, E, F, G testing, right? I remember you were showing us Grant Cardone stuff, and you were just whizzing around the internet showing us deep scuba diving, right? Deep levels of research that can be done on the competition. Some people are out there believing, you know what, there's no such thing as competition. There's co-opetition. Some people think I don't have any competition. I compete with myself, and as long as I do my job, then nobody competes with me. Yeah, but pay attention to what we're talking about here. Whatever it is that you're selling or doing, people can get it somewhere else probably. And you need to know why they're going to get it from you instead of someone else. I'll tell you something else though. Competitive advantage isn't just so you can get all the business in the world. Sometimes knowing what your competitive advantages are for the purposes of putting people in the right direction. Say, hey, you know what? You need a coach clearly, but if you want to coach with my competitive advantages, you're looking for somebody with this, that, and the other. If you want a coach that has this, that, and the other, like I got competitors over there that are better at these things than me. So why don't you talk, like, in other words, if I know what my competition is, I can make sure that the right person is getting coached by the right person. And so what I try to do is bridge the gap. I'm trying to build a coaching community where I have a bunch of independent contractors that have different specializations than me, so that when business comes in, still within my community, I can still assign a different coach and get the job done if the prospect or the client is looking for something different than what my advantages are. So I digress. Let me go ahead and leave it there. Let me say hello to Todd. I see you on the Facebook side, Todd, and anybody else. Some of these notifications are coming in. Forgive me if I haven't said hello to you, but Todd up in Northern California, I love you. Say hello to Cindy for me. Thanks for coming on board and always being supportive. And Patty, why don't you go ahead and open up your mic? And you've got me all to yourself tonight. And let me go ahead and get the audio going. Hang on a second. I have to do this every week. Hang on. Let me just test this. Yeah, I hear that. Yeah. Echo. Yep. Testing 1, 2, 3. Patty, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay, great. All right. So Patty, thanks for coming on board live. You're here with me tonight. You heard me at the beginning. I don't want to spend too much time tonight, but I want to honor you for coming on board and see if you have any questions about knowing the competition, or anything else that we've talked about in marketing or communication or anything else.
Well, I really have no question popping up to my mind. I was thinking of Charlie, and do you remember your Kluba snack from Friday?
Yeah, I haven't put the perfect wordsmithing around it, but the epicenter of the Klubi snack, and this is Charlie in your honor. We're not necessarily sure, Charlie, why you're not with us tonight, but
He's
I bet
not here because of the electrical shedding or whatever they're doing. So
well,
he has
no
connection.
doubt he'll watch this, and he's even when he's not here, he's here. We love Charlie, and our thoughts are with you over there in South Africa as you battle with electrical stuff. I mean, it's almost like now when electricity goes out, that is like a natural disaster, right? Like people's lives are on the line if we lose power. Anyway, so we're thinking about Charlie, but Charlie always asks every week for a Klubi snack. So here's the epicenter of the Klubi snack. It's mind the gap. What's the difference between complaining and explaining, or in Klubi snack form? According to Coach Klubeck, the difference between complaining and explaining is when you're doing one, you want to hang on to the problem. When you're doing the other, you want to solve it. All right. The person who's complaining is committed to the problem. The person who's explaining is committed to the solution. And maybe that's the better way to put the Klubi snack. But that's in your honor, Charlie. We're thinking about you midweek when we come up with this stuff. And thank you for prompting me on that, Patty.
Okay.
What else? Anything else for tonight, Sunday night? Tip number 13 overall. And number 3 from the marketing section, know your competition. We are in Get a Klu in 52, right? And we're having fun with it. We're going to be brief tonight. I mean, sometimes these sessions could go as long as 90 minutes or more, right? And I'm not interested in that tonight because we do have a guest in town, but I want to balance that with honoring you, Patty, for coming on board tonight.
Yeah, I was just looking at my notes that Marissa gave, and she told us about builtwith.com. So on there, you can go and find out other pages that are using the words that you use, for example. Mm-hmm. And that was really helpful. Mm-hmm. So I just added that to tonight.
Yeah. Marissa's amazing. She blows my mind with how much, what a grasp of technology and marketing she has. It's amazing. And how she bridges the gap from enterprise and corporate to small and micro business. She's really super dynamic. So my hat's off to Marissa. Let me just go ahead and ask again, Patty, any questions, anything I could do for you personally tonight? I'm
fine with a very short time. I have a list of things I was trying to do today and I'm not done with them. So.
Okay. Well, you're not trying to do them. You're still working through them. And
I'm doing them, right? I should say.
That's right. Yeah, we talked about that earlier in the week. Also, quoting our friend Yoda, "There is no try." Anyway, Patty, I love you beyond belief. Anybody out there that's watching a recording of this or happen to check it out live, thank you so much for taking time to visit a little bit, believing that there's some value. I'm admittedly cutting it short tonight rather than staying on for an extended amount of time fishing for super value in an organic, authentic way. I'm just being brief tonight to check the box, get the tip read. Make sure that I'm consistent in my commitment to getting 52 in a row of these done this year, the same way that we did last year. So Get a Clue in 52 isn't always going to be a 90-minute jam, but that's certainly true tonight. Anyway, anything else for tonight, Patty?
No, this has been very brief but lovely.
Nice, brief but lovely. The soul of wit, brevity. Anyway, let's go ahead and seal it with a kiss anyway. I love you so much, Patty. Here we go. Mwah. Oh, yeah. A big, sloppy, wet one. All right. Good night, everyone. I love you,
Have
Patty.
a good week, everybody.